today I have one question to ask you. What do you think about life? Well, life sometimes it can be challenging. We face a problem and some other matters, but life is pretty interesting itself because sometimes it goes up and down. And in order to get a piece of potential point of life, we must experience pain, suffers, and first. As Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, for him to invent the light bulb successful, he had to fail hundreds of the time. But he kept trying until one day he figured it out and working the light bulb. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. One thing that makes you fail is you stop trying. In your mind, you must dream big. I know we have a different plans in our life, but one common thing that we all have is we want to achieve our goals. And to reach our goals, we must not quit, even if it looks really impossible. And today is such a great day for me to stand here in the stage and share with our participants about the topic journeys of life. Welcome everyone to the public speaking contest in the final round. Firstly, let's make your respect to the Mr. Isaac, as ICE, Teacher Tom Choret, Teacher Kim Nimor, and Teacher Bon Richards. Both other teachers and students who's coming here today, and all audience. So, before we're going to start to talk about topic, let me start with to introduce myself. My name is Chakriya, and my full name is King Chakriya, a 16 years old girl. So I study English at ICE General for Education School, Campus 1, at Liberty 3. So everyone, I think we all always have a thoughts and weakness point of yourself. But sometimes it's get to solve it, and sometimes we don't know about it. But today is a great time for me to solve about it. For my potential, I'm quick observation. It means when others change, I can notice and understand it than others. And while looking at me, I'm just a small cycle, but I'm really have a strong mindset. So it can help me to control a situation that will happen to me. And I think it's for even how many potentials, but I also have a weakness as well. For my weakness is I'm easy to get affected by other words. Because when I was young, I always got a check from others. And it really affects my mental health and blows in my mind. So for those who always check to others, please stop it because you don't feel the people got a check from you. And I don't want to waste our time anymore. Let me talk about the content that we will talk today. First, if we would like to talk about the childhood, the current situation life, and the past is the future plan. Let me start off with the childhood. Childhood is really important that we shouldn't be overlooked because this is fun, source and based on memories, but I know we have a different childhood, but we also have the same parts in our childhood. We walk through the good and bad moments, and let me say about my childhood experience, how good or bad it was. So, for make it easy, I have divided into sections. The first section is the life at home, and second is the life at school. So, let me start off with the life at home. From a young age, family were fast apart, which make my relationship with my family didn't close like other families. And it made me feel lonely sometimes and help myself. But when I help myself time by time, it made me become to the independent kids with the stubborn attitudes. I grew up without the sense and the problem to my parents and other people outside. I remember one day when I ate breakfast near the school, there was one group of teachers, they come and sat with me. One of them decided to choose me as a topic. He said, she is a chair who doesn't have the full family because her parents is living in Great and she living in Seoul. And he continued to talk, see the children who looking in Burma. While he enjoyed to share my life with the other guy, me, it's the girl that he talks about was really hurting, and it's also one of my weakness points. Sometimes, when I saw other parents, they told their kids, come and back home. I always wish it will happen to me as well. But for everyone, it's just a normal activities, but for me, it really special and make me feel good. But I still continue my life lonely until I'm 14 years old. I started to join grade 7 and I moved from the driving school to study in public school. My life in public school is really busy. I don't have time for spend with my family, especially my grandma. After a few months when I joined grade 7 with grade 7, my grandma got sick. But I didn't have the time for taking of her too much, so until she got a illness. And then my uncle took her to Siem Reap. But only the 3 months that she lived in Siem Reap, her illness started to serious again. And when my dad hears about her situation of illness, he's going to Siem Reap, and I want to ask him for go with, but because I have busy with my semester one sem, I miss it. And I promise I will visit to her to next time. But only a day after my dad arrived, we got a one news this exam. My grandma is died, and I'm really disappointed with myself because my grandma is a woman that sits near me, that always stay with me in the slower time, in the scared time, and every time she always stay with me. But even the last breath of hers, I cannot stay with her back. So I'm really brave myself until right now. Okay, I don't want to talk about it anymore. So let's move to the sections, a life at school. From a young story, I was lucky that my sibling, because I could get the opportunity. Private school started from the grade 1. And I always imagined my life at school will be good. But it wasn't like I think. The first day that I joined the school, I didn't get a nice welcome from my classmates. And day by day, they treat me as the work dress. They always force me to buy things for them as a cookies. And I need to run from the 4th floor to the 4th floor for buy it to them. But I still continue this until I studied in grade 5. I started to join English class. The first day in the class, we had dictation, but I couldn't write a word. So my friend said, just copy her. Honestly, to talk, I didn't have the copy skill. So I wrote one, I asked her once, and make her feel boring with me and shout out to me, "You really stupid, why you here at the world?" So at the time, let me start again, I lost the motivation. And yes, I don't know what I need to do. I decided to change my class. But a few months after I changed my class, I got a barriers. I can got a number 2 in the top 5 ranked class. And I was really surprised and happy with myself. But the happy moment was when I hear the boy said, "A stupid girl like you can go to number 2? Are you cheat yourself?" So at the time, I felt upset about past. I was like, oh, why I need to upset with him? That I can't do it, but him can do it, and I cannot let him laugh at me like this. So I kept trying my best. The break time touched me a lot. It touched me to be the strong person. And in the break time, I will have the good time as well. So when I started in grade 7, one time when I scrolled out the social media, I saw one girl in the graduate appreciation bring speak with all energies and powers about her experience of studying English. And I was like, wow, how can she do it? She really, really amazing. And I want to be like her. I promised with myself, one day I will be like her. And now I can stand here in this stage and talk around other people in this room. So yes, it's one of my successes. And you might know a lot in my past life. And what is my current life looks like? I still the same. So let's continue with me to the present life. After my grandma died, my parents moved me to, and it was a hard time for me because starting from the grade 1 to the grade 7, I never lived with them. So the ways I live and my parents live, it have a different. It makes us difficult to live our living and God's pressure. But day by day, our living is better. But until now, I got in the uncomfortable because I'm growing up to be the teenager. But my parents really strict with me. For my age, it's a time that want to learn and know about the outside environment. But my parents try to keep me under their control. So it's make me and my parents don't get along so well. But I really have a good relationship with my siblings. So they know about my situation with my parents. So and once I have some problem, I always say to them and they always advise me. And so for me, and now I'm trying to fix everything. Try to talk to my parents and do all what they want to. what they want, I do. So, and I hope in the future, me and my family will get along as well. And for my school life, I'm was really busy. I need to spend almost 12 hours a day or study at schools, and um, I need to leave home maybe 6 a.m. and I back home maybe around at 6. And sometimes when I have assignment or project, I always stay up late. But when I got home, I really feel exhausted and lost energy. But anyways, I think my study is not good enough. I need to study more at home even if I'm really tired. And I also facing some challenge. So my challenge that I'm facing is I'm struggling with study English because I'm thinking about the study abroad, and English is really important for me, for give me the opportunity to get a scholarship. And one more challenge that I'm facing right now is the competition. Because I never joined any competition course, and this is my first competition that I haven't joined. I have joined, sorry. Sometimes I really put all my efforts and really work hard, but I'm also got stress from it. And sometimes I want to cry because when I have no idea, but no tears. I don't expect to be the winner, but I expect I will get the experience and improve my speaking skill. And it would be the age of my presentation. So, but not yet the age of our presentation. Let me move to the next is future life. I know, and I believe we all always prepare plan for the life because it can make us or achieve easy to achieve our goals and accomplishment in our lives. And I also set my future tools. I make sure when I study at I make sure after I study at high school, I will join university. And the first university I have planning to choose. The first university is IFL for Continuing English Department, and second university I'm not choosing yet right now because I want to know about my abilities and choosing the right major that's suitable with me. So I'm also have the plan for get scholarship to study abroad too. And while doing the university, I will find a part-time job because I don't want to depend on my parents' finance. After I graduate from the university, I will find a job and complete my dream job to be the flight attendant and house a small business. If possible, I will travel to another country and with myself before I add my own family. For my future family, I don't expect to have the perfect family, but I expect to have a wonderful family. Because when I was young, I didn't get the warmth from my parents, and yes, I'm promising with myself, I will be the good parents ever and give the warm love to my kids. It's a warm love to my kids, understand all their problems. And now, is that all for my plan? Let me move to the conclusion. Throughout the experience life of one person and one person is not at the same as me in the as like my life seems so hard and present life still not good, and the future life I have to dream others. And in my own opinion, life sometimes is can down a major problem, but trust me, it you don't believe everything is possible. And I'm here today is not a successful person, but I'm here today for sharing my life to others who having a hard time or with the same problem as me. Please don't be give up. Give up is not the solution. Keep in your mind. Life is about first and success. It's a normal list. And the last is the time for say goodbye to this day. And just really thank for the competition and the owners of the competition for giving me to standing here in this tag and trying a new thing. And the last thank for everyone for your attending from the tier until to the egg of my spring. So yeah, if you have something to do, like to don't waste the time, don't be late. Thank you.